Hey everybody, my name is Josh. I'm with Doobie Manipulations. That's the company I made. I've been spinning poi for about 10 years, making poi for about 5. Today I want to show you my new purchase. This is 3/8 Technora, so really thick. Wow, so thick. And I want to show you how to splice it to 1/2 inch if anybody likes 1/2 inch tethers on their fire poi like I do with my contact poi. It's really nice, it's really big, I like it. So yeah, I'm gonna show you how to splice that. Pretty much you can get this splicing fid from Dark Monk. I believe this is for 1/4 inch, so it's gonna seem small, so I can use some tape to get it in there. And I've only been really only doing I guess just not the Bremel splice, but just going down the center. I'll show you. So squish up the rope like so, enter about a 1/2 inch from whatever you're tying onto, and this is how much I want to go in, so I'm gonna choke it up past that, Chinese finger trap style. Shove it in there nice and deep, wiggle it in, make sure not to catch any of the strands in there, and find a little spot to come out somewhere. Bam. Nice and squinched up. Scrunched and squinched. Then going to lay a little frand right into the canal. Grab a little pre-cut piece of tape because I plan ahead. Kapow. Wrap it up and send it on down. And since the tape can catch, so just flatten it out, give it some twists, turn it a little, wiggle it in, just do it how it likes to be done. Right, there it goes on the other side. Be careful not to catch any of the fibers or it can mess up your pretty strand. And release. Let go, my ego. And then from here, just pull it all the way through to cinch down your anchor point. Today I am anchoring into a honey hive wick, 3-strand crown sennet, and once that's all the way down, if you kind of work the little bumpiness, it helps it stay nice and smooth when you finish. Then you can just kind of pull it in and work this out with your fingers, nice and smooth. And yep, nice and smooth, nice and smooth. Tightening, tightening. All right. And so I was aiming for this to be about the same spot as my other poi over here. so it doesn't have to be exact. And it's not so perfect. So I can always cut this down in here if I want. So we didn't go deep enough. We couldn't go deep enough. But we'll just open it back up. Give a little wiggle. Definitely going to want to get this extra tape off. And for a thing like this, just pop it in. Give it a little poppy, poparoo. You know? What a beaut right there. That is nice and thick. Oh yeah, stretch it out like that. You're always going to want to make sure it's nice and taut because some of the strength definitely comes from the rope grabbing onto itself. Okay, now that we have that, that's all I do. I don't mess with Brimble splices. Next thing I do is always keep like extra strand, cut length. Give yourself 18 inches, at least a foot, because this is what you're going to pull your thread off. Breaks down to this, and then this breaks down to this, and then you thread the needle. You probably already know that move. Right, and I'm going to secure it in here with a little stitching. And you go up about an inch. And this one is going to be buried by the wick, so it's not going to matter too much, but it will at least hold it in place so things don't go haywire. And so this is pretty much how it goes. I tighten all the way to about there because you're going to want to have some slack to tie off with. And I usually only jump maybe 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch max. And just try to go through the center of the rope each time so that it gets a nice grab. Because what we're going to try to do is just make sure that it's all tight together. And you can straighten it out. That'll help make things easier. If it's looking bubbly, flatten it out, work it. Yeah, pretty much through the center each time. And I will jump in with my needle and I aim to poke out at the end of my last stitch. All right. Did you guys see that? That was close. If you know what just happened, you know that I almost cried. And the more stitches you put in, the tighter it's going to feel, so you can use pliers. If you use pliers, be careful not to bend or break your needle. I also recommend getting a needle with a bigger eye so that it's easier to thread. And for most of you, it's probably pretty boring, but if you're still watching, I just want to let you know that I'm unemployed and telling you my secrets because I'm now a child of God who's given up all earthly possessions like money, food, and shelter. I don't need any of those things. But if you would like to buy some of this 3/8 rope, I bought a lot of it. So if you want to make your own poi, make some tethers, if you want me to make you some tethers, email me. Contact me on Etsy /shop Doobie Manipulations. You can find me on Facebook. My name is Josh DBM. And then so the last one here, I like to poke out. This is for aesthetic purposes. This is all the secrets that everyone probably knows about by now. I poke this out the same place where that one is coming out. And then you can pull your thread out. Again, make sure your stuff is nice and tight. Tighten these babies down, cinch it down. Oh yeah, nice and tight. And then we can, what I do is put one little halfie in there. Then thread twice. Pick up the needle with your fingernails. Thread. Kapow. This is where, anyways, thread. Oh, yes. So nice. Alright. And pinch here. So this is where you can see if you had a lot of extra length, that would be helpful. So I cinch that down. And then I also insert right where the two were joined together. And then this, I'm just showing you for aesthetic purposes. Dive back in where they came out so that there's nothing sticking out. And then I aim for like this little crevasse right here. So I want to pick one of those crevasses up in there. If you come at an angle and push these threads through, then you come out here, pull them tight, spread them apart, and the first knot cinches it down, and it should kind of bury itself under the exterior of the Technora fibers. And then I do two, nice and tight, like a twigga. And then I do three, because more than three seems unnecessary to me. And then clip off your residual. Make sure not to clip your beautiful, you know what it is. Right, and then pretty much it sinks back in. And this might not be so beautiful because of me trying to do it with a camera in my face, but pretty much what you want to see is just all the strands tacked down. Alright, well, thank you guys so much. Yeah, hit me up if you want to get any of this stuff right here. Alright.